YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a full day of eating vegan style. Now, if you've been following me for more than like 5 seconds, then you know I'm not a vegan. I'm not even a vegetarian. But I know a lot of you guys that follow me are either vegetarian or vegan, so I wanted to do a full day of eating that you guys could follow along, and it would be like food that you could eat. I also kind of wanted to take on the challenge of a vegan full day of eating because even though I'm not vegan or even vegetarian, I am trying to go a little bit more plant-based, like in my day-to-day diet. And I knew that by doing a vegan full day of eating, it would kind of force me to go out of my comfort zone a little bit and try some like plant-based protein sources and stuff like that, which is good because then that's stuff that I can add to my diet if I like it. Also, are any of you listening to me anymore now that Nacho has joined the party? Hey. Most of this footage is just going to be my full day of eating all the stuff that I ate on this day. But at the end, I'm also going to give like 5 seconds or like a couple minutes of my thoughts on the vegan diet, my thoughts on the vegan diet for me, and yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's hop in. What is up, YouTube? Pardon my very sweaty and weird appearance. I just got done working out. And now I am making my first vegan meal of the day. Gonna be real with you, I'm scared. Because that on my stove right there is tofu. So I'm trying to make my avocado toast like I do for breakfast sometimes, but obviously I can't use cheese or eggs. So I found a tofu scrambled egg recipe with just some firm tofu, some seasonings, some vegetable broth. So I'm cooking that up right now and like praying for the best. Tofu is like a really good source of protein if you're on a vegan diet. It's low fat, it's low carb. I've tried tofu before. I know I like tofu. It's basically just like a foodie substance that soaks up the flavor of whatever you put onto it. So like, you really can't go wrong with it unless the texture of it bothers you. But yeah, I'm gonna make my guac now and my toast, and I hope that this tofu turns out nicely. I really just threw some butter in a pan, threw the tofu in the pan, broke it up to kind of look like scrambled eggs after I added the seasonings, and I'm gonna be spooning in some vegetable broth soon and kind of cooking that together. Apparently the vegetable broth is what kind of gives it more of like an eggy flavor and texture. I don't know. We're just gonna try. Here we have it, avocado toast with fake vegan scrambled eggs. I taste tested the tofu and it actually does taste pretty good. I wouldn't say it tastes like scrambled eggs exactly, but like not that different. It's not bad. I'm gonna take this to the table and try it and see if I like it. We're broadening our horizons today and we're giving meal ideas to those of you who follow me who are vegan. So here we go. Honestly, you just can't go wrong with avocado toast. This is good for real. Like, this is really good. A++. That is really good. As always, I will put the macros on the screen for what the macros are of this meal if you are a macro tracker. This is a super healthy meal. This is completely plant-based. Tofu comes from soybeans. Avocado is obviously a fruit. And this bread is vegan, by the way. I double checked to make sure that it was vegan. And it is. So, 100% vegan meal right here. And this was the one I was most concerned about, and it was so good. So, we'll see how the rest of my meals go today. I'm excited. Alright, YouTube, it's time for my second meal. Yes, I am the same person from before, just with 400 pounds of eyeliner and mascara on my face. Be not afraid. What I'm going to eat now is, of course, red lentil pasta. But I'm gonna make it a little bit differently than I've made in the past because normally I will use like a red sauce or an alfredo sauce or sometimes just butter with my red lentil pasta. But ain't none of that vegan. Except the marinara sauce, I think that's vegan, but still wanna mix it up. And I wanna use this tofu that I bought because I have it, so I might as well experiment. So I found a recipe online for basically a tofu-based alfredo sauce. You just throw tofu and some seasonings and some either soy milk, I'm gonna use cashew milk, into a blender, and you make Alfredo sauce. I also recently picked up truffle dust. If you guys don't know, I'm obsessed with truffle everything. So I think I'm gonna throw some of this into the Alfredo sauce and make it kind of like a truffle Alfredo sauce. So this should be good. So the recipe that I found is for like an entire giant amount of this sauce. So I'm not gonna use the recipe exactly. I'm just gonna kind of go off of it as like a guide, kind of do my own thing. If you're new here, then you might not know that this is typically how all recipes go for me. I just don't like being told what to do. Like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I see recipes as like a suggestion. So for this tofu creamy pasta sauce, requires some tofu, garlic, dry parsley, basil, paprika, salt, and soy milk. So let's just blend stuff. If you've never played with tofu before, it's freaking weird. It's like this little square blob of food, and it has a texture on it, and it's jiggly. It's like really firm jello. I tried eating some on its own earlier after I ate my avocado toast, and I literally was gagging. It doesn't taste bad, it's just the texture is really weird. It's fine on stuff. I've had tofu in like soup and stir fries and stuff. It was not good just eating it on its own, me personally. All right, we got some tofu in there. It's about a serving size, I think, of tofu. There's some cashew milk. That was probably a lot of cashew milk. Oh well, calls for parsley. Nope. Basil's good. You can go in. Some truffle dust. I'm gonna be a little light-handed with that because I feel like truffle can kind of take over sometimes. Garlic salt, just like everything in my life has. Some paprika. I'm gonna add some more garlic, some real garlic in here. There you go. I feel like this is a lot of seasonings. I guess we'll find out what happens. It smells okay. So after you blend it, you cook it. Yeah, but not to boil, just to heat it up. Let's give her a whirl. So we have my sauce heating up, some onions and mushrooms steaming in there, and the pasta cooking. I'm definitely nervous about this pasta dish. I don't know, I'm nervous about the sauce most of all. And also, I love having Parmesan cheese on my pasta, or like mozzarella cheese, or just some kind of cheese. Cheese is not vegan. All of the vegan cheeses that I checked out are like, it just creeps me out. But I've been hearing about this stuff for forever. It's nutritional yeast, and I smelled it, and it smells like a mix between like Parmesan cheese and popcorn seasoning. That's not bad at all. That's wonderful. So we're gonna put a little bit of this on top, not a ton. I'm afraid I'm gonna like be creeped out by the fact that it's yeast. I don't know, I'm super mental when it comes to my food. Like if I think something weird about it, then I like can't enjoy it. So I'm gonna just put just a little bit of this on my pasta. Here it is, all finished, and I'm very scared to try it. I tried the sauce, and it's definitely like really garlic forward, which duh, like I dropped a ton of garlic in there. I should have known better. I guess I just have never felt like anything was too garlicky for me before, till now. But yes, here's the meal. I'm gonna go try it and see how I feel about it. I'm really, really nervous for this. I'm hoping for the best. And I also wanna say too that like I hope that my aversions to these foods are not coming across as like, ew, vegan food, bad. It's just that I have no experience with vegan food, no experience with a lot of these ingredients that I'm working with, but I wanted to try this because so many of you guys I know who follow me, or maybe who troll me, are vegan, and so I just want to give some meal ideas to you, hopefully, and also just try it out. Like, don't knock it till you try it, right? There's so much steam coming up from it. All right, just do it, Lynette, do it. It's not bad. I don't love it, but I think it's just how much garlic is in the sauce. Like I think if I had dialed back the garlic like a ton, this would be good. Because the texture of the sauce is fine, like it tastes fine. It's just the garlic. So just don't put a whole frick ton of garlic in the sauce and it's good. 7 out of 10. It is now 5:30 and I need to eat. So let's go. The next thing that I have for us today, it's not in the freezer. Yes, it is in the freezer. Beast Burger by Beyond Meat. So I've been hearing about these Beyond Meat burger patties for a while. I know that they have some like fresh looking patties that look like they're fresh beef in the store, but they're actually just plant somehow. But this is a frozen one that I got from my local Kroger. That's all that they had in terms of like this brand. But it's 23 grams of protein, plus the Beyond Nutrient Blend, antioxidants, iron, calcium, vitamin B6, yada yada yada. And what I like about this is that it is soy free, because soy is a huge issue for me with anybody doing like a vegan or a vegetarian diet. A lot of vegan protein sources are mostly soy. Not all of them, but like a lot of them are. And soy is not great for everybody, but more about that later. And I think the protein primarily comes from pea protein. So I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna have it with probably without a bun. Probably gonna have just some homemade guac on top because that's how I roll. And I think I'm gonna have a side of broccoli with it. Yes. The broccoli I have is just gonna be some steamable broccoli. So I'll be making this in the microwave, and I'll also be making that burger patty in the microwave, I think. Actually, I think I'm gonna make this stovetop. Oh, it says don't microwave. It explicitly says don't microwave. Glad I caught that. I'll be making this stovetop. So I'm putting a little bit of olive oil in this little pan here, and I shall be cooking this burger. All right, here comes the guac. Oh yeah. I feel like my food today has progressively gotten uglier and uglier. I feel like this is gonna taste really good though. Off we go to the table of decisions, where I sit down and I eat this and I tell you if it's good or not. I feel like it will be good though. Let us see. How would I describe this? It's like, it's almost sausagey. It's like a strong flavor. It's not like a subtle beefy flavor. It's like definitely plants trying to be meat. I think I would like it better on a bun. Broccoli, tastes like broccoli. Good as ever. I chose broccoli because it's like 2.5 to 3 grams of protein per serving, and they had like 3 servings here, so getting that protein in. I knew today was gonna be like doing everything I could to get protein in. I know that you can still get a decent amount of protein in a vegan diet, but I also knew that it's a lot easier to get a ton of carbs and fat in your diet when you're eating vegan, unless you kind of think about it and pay attention to what you're eating and don't just like eat fruit all day. Not that there's anything wrong with fruit, but if you're someone who's trying to have more protein in your diet, it definitely takes a little bit of extra work to find the vegan stuff that has protein in it. Update. I've taken a few more bites of this burger patty and I think I don't like it. The flavor is just weird. I don't know if it's the pea protein. I feel like everything I've tried with pea protein always has a strange flavor. This might have been a fail. What are you gonna do? I tried it out.
Hello, Sleepy. Are you ready for dinner? Dinner. Dinner.
All right, I'm in the middle of cooking my husband's dinner, which is not vegan at all. But I wanna show you guys my last meal of the day, which I'm pretty excited for. I've tried every single ingredient that's going into this salad, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. I'm gonna be making a like taco salad type thing with a Boca Burger chicken patty, some salsa, some black beans, and some corn, and maybe some onion. Haven't decided yet. Everything is vegan. Everything's gonna be delicious. I said this the last time that I ate these, but they kind of remind me of McDonald's spicy chicken sandwiches. I don't know if McDonald's still sells those. I know they sold them when I worked at McDonald's like 10 years ago, but that's what this reminds me of. That's it, man. Simple as can be. If you have not recognized this by this point, I like Mexican food, in case that wasn't clear by my food choices today. I will put the macros for this up on the screen as always, and I'm gonna go enjoy this now. Still have to taste test, even though I know what all these ingredients taste like, because I've not actually made this combination of salad together. This salsa is the best salsa ever. I'll put a little flash of it on the screen for you guys. I get it from Kroger by their brand Private Selection, and it is just so good. I'm not a salsa person for the most part, but I love that stuff. This fake chicken patty thing is so much better than the burger I had earlier. This like actually tastes really good to me compared to that, for real. All right, so that's it, man. That was my whole day of eating. I think my calories ended up kind of low for today. So I may end up eating something else later, but I don't think I'm gonna film it. I'm totally out of vegan ideas. But this was just my take on a vegan diet, trying my best to do higher protein. All right, so that's gonna be the end of this portion of the vlog. I believe next you're going to see me have my like little sit down chat about my feelings about the vegan diet. Stay tuned. All right, so now that the day of eating is over, I'm gonna give just a few like thoughts and closing opinions. First of all, I recognize that the vegan diet is for some people a moral choice. Some people are vegans because they don't think it's right to eat animals. I got you. I totally am cool with how you choose to live your life. But one thing I think that we need to understand is that everybody lives by a different moral code. What one person deems as like not an okay thing to do might not be considered that by somebody else. So that's just one thing that really bothers me when I get a lot of comments from vegans who call me hateful names or try to put me down for eating meat when not eating meat is just not a moral code that I feel called to. Other people are allowed to live how they want to live. So all that to say, if I see any hateful comments, people calling me names for eating meat, whatever, probably gonna delete them. I'm totally fine with like open discussion, some critical thinking questions, but if I see you just trying to call me out for eating meat, there's nothing to call out. I eat meat. It doesn't violate my personal moral code. But anyway, that being said, I do understand that some people, for moral reasons, feel like they should eat vegan. And that's totally fine. I think that the vegan diet is honestly a really good diet when it's done correctly. As for the foods that I ate today, I didn't particularly like them. I wouldn't necessarily like the things that I had today in my future diet. I did like the avocado toast and I did like the salad at the end. I don't necessarily see it as something that I'm leaning towards in the future. Like I said, for health reasons, I'm always gonna wanna be as plant-based as possible because I think that that's just the way that we're primarily intended to eat. But in my personal opinion, everything in moderation is okay. So I do have dairy, I do have meat in my diet, I do have eggs, and that's just my choice. My main issues with a vegan diet is how much soy is in so much of the vegan foods, especially the vegan protein sources. Now, granted, in case you didn't know, soy is in like everything, almost everything today. Like pretty much, probably 80% of most packaged processed foods have some sort of soy in them. Now, there's a million studies about soy and whether or not it's like actually harmful for us. And I've done so much research on the subject because of what I'm about to tell you in a minute, but I cannot seem to find a lot of like super definitive, like yes, soy is horrible, or no, soy is totally fine. So to me, I just try to like minimize as much processed soy as I can in my diet. For me personally, soy actually has a pretty bad effect on my system when I have it in like a certain amount of, I did notice that after I had the tofu, both times I had the tofu this day, my stomach was like really off and I just felt kind of like weird after eating the tofu, which is like pure soy. But I know personally about 6 years ago, I went on a soy supplement. I forget what the supplement was, but one of the main ingredients was soy. And when I started taking that supplement, within a couple of days, I got my period for like 8 days straight and it wouldn't stop. I think it was even longer than that because it was long enough for me to go to my doctor, like super concerned. And when I went to my doctor, she said, I think that you have some sort of like soy issue. She said a lot of people have issues with soy, especially women, because in some cases, soy can kind of like mimic estrogen in the body. Like different ways that it's processed, it can do that. And so I think for me, it was messing with my cycle and just like my personal hormonal setup and was just causing issues for me. So after that, my doctor said, I would be careful about how much soy you're having. Like you're kind of fine to have like normal amounts of trace amounts of soy in like packaged products, but don't go on any soy supplements. And that's just me, but I know that a lot of people have an issue with soy, sometimes that they don't even know about. So that's my biggest issue with the vegan diet. And yes, you can have vegan foods without necessarily having soy, but I just feel like your protein would be pretty low considering what I like to have in a day, which is around 100 grams of protein or so. Which, by the way, it's not necessary to have that much protein in your diet for health reasons, but for physique reasons, for wanting to maintain a lot of muscle, you do want to have like a certain amount of protein in your diet day to day based on your weight and stuff like that, just to retain or build a certain amount of muscle. That might be like more muscle than the typical woman has or needs. Anyway, that's basically like my main issue with the vegan diet personally. Otherwise, honestly, I think the vegan diet can be great. As long as you know what you're doing, you know that you're getting the right kind of nutritional profile in your day-to-day diet, and you're not eating anything that can cause harm to you like hormonally or physically or whatever, then go for it. The plant-based diet is amazing. I just don't think it's for me, and I don't want to be vegan. I enjoy dairy, I enjoy eggs, meat, stuff like that. And I believe, based on loads of research that I've done, that they're totally fine in moderation in your diet. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you want me to do another vegan full day of eating, because I totally will if you guys want me to, but if you don't, then I probably won't. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.